Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UTAS Stadium for NTFA Division 1 Grand Final Day. Spectacular day for football, and we're just about to get underway with the Women's Grand Final between South Launceston and the Meander Valley Suns. Firstly, I'd like to introduce a legend from each of the clubs that are going to come out and walk onto the ground. Please welcome Rod Patterson from South Launceston and Lee Watts from the Meander Valley Suns as they bring out the Premiership Cup. And just a reminder to spectators today that only the teams and officials will be permitted onto UTAS Stadium today, so please remain off the ground during the course of today's match. First things first, we're going to do the official coin toss, and that's to be performed by the Director of Women's Football for the NTFA, Louise Millwood. So I'll invite the two captains, please, to come forward. Hayley Breward from South Launceston and Charlotte Howe from the Meander Valley Suns. Very nice toss of the coin. So Meander have won the toss and they'll kick down to the city end in the first quarter. And now we'll pause for a moment for the official Welcome to Country video featuring prominent Aboriginal advocate and NTFA member Graham Gardner.
Ligina Lutruwita. For thousands of years, Aborigines have remained connected to country. Our old people harvested the land, our warriors hunted a landscape shaped by traditional fire, and our women gathered resources to provide for their family group. Back then, we walked the many tracks across the northern Midlands that led us to the head of the Cunnamalooka Tamar River. Today, those tracks are lined by buildings, and the landscape, once adorned by trees and grassy plains, are fewer. Warranta Lumi. We are here. Our culture is alive.
So ladies and gentlemen, we'd ask you now please to remain upstanding for the Australian National Anthem. Thanks very much, everyone. Good luck to both teams and our umpires today.
UTAS Stadium is the venue. UTAS Stadium is the venue for the NTFA Women's Division 1 Grand Final. Michael Maney with you in commentary. Joining me is Matthew Chatwin. And Matthew, welcome to you. This is sure to be a terrific game. South Launceston undefeated, so you've got to say that the bookies would have them odds on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Michael. Beautiful day for football. As a lawn enthusiast, I'm looking very jealously down at an amazing surface here at UTAS. On the Meander Valley side of things, this is their first grand final as a club since they've gone under the Meander Valley Suns bandwagon, so potentially a history-making day for the girls. Yeah,
terrific to see them, and what a buzz for the players to play on this ground. It's as you said, you'd be so jealous of the players today to be able to play on this, because wonderful surface, and the weather gods have come to the party today too. Magnificent weather.
Yeah, I was keeping a close eye on the windsock actually during the national anthem there. There's a very gentle breeze to the left, to the Invermay end, but you don't feel like the weather's going to have any impact on the game today.
Kate Child, the playing coach of the South Launceston team, and she'll be revved up for a big performance. Kate Boland, the coach of Meander Valley Women, and this is the way women's football's going. We want to get the women in coaching, don't we? We want them coaching their own teams, etc.
Oh, absolutely, and speaking from my little involvement with women's footy, they definitely listen to their own players much more than probably the silly old blokes on the sideline sometimes. So, no, it's fantastic to see that the game continues to grow and grow, and obviously with the start of the AFLW last week, it's women's footy coming to the fore.
They're like sponges, a lot of the girls. They just want that knowledge. They have a thirst for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the grand final of 2022. Div 1 Women's. Up it goes. No one can knock it down. And I guess clearances, Matt, are going to be the thing, aren't they? Just and using the space and running into space on this very big ground for the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of leg speed in the South Launceston team. Kate Child was talking that up during the week. So on the big playing surface, you feel like that would be their strength, trying to get the ball out to space. Meander probably a bit happier to lock it in tight, I reckon.
Ruby Lanham got it down. Tackling is a real feature, as Hannah Viney tried to take off with a footy, but it's got to come back. And it'll come back to Angela Main. So Angela Main right in the centre of UTAS. So for the first, almost inside 50. It's almost going to creep into shallow territory. Wasn't in there long. There goes Christina Chiffo.
No easy footy here early.
No, they'll sort themselves out. And I think the one thing about the girls is that desperation to get hold of the footy. So a free kick's going to the Suns, and they'll bring it out to this side of the ground. Just a short little dab of a kick. So the foot race is on. Christina Chiffo, little handball away. Nicely done by April Crooks. Attard, the vice-captain, just slammed it on the boot. Meander's got to hold up here in defence because South are just pressing a little. They haven't won any real good clear ball. They might get it out here now. Nicely done by Hayley Breward, the skipper. Meander, get it to the wing. Cleo Creswell there, the number 13 for Meander. Viney, didn't have a left boot there, but that'll develop as the years go on. And the ball is rolled out of play. What have you noticed so far, Matt?
So that the last touches rule is in play with the women's footy. So that one, although it didn't go out of bounds on the full, it will be a free kick to Meander. You're right. South seem to have set a bit of a press up across half back and really locking the footy in their forward half.
Well, I've done some footy commentary in the Sandful in South Australia, and that last touch out of bounds has really quickened the game up over there, and a lot of detractors, but they seem to be persisting with it, along with a 25-metre penalty instead of a 50. So
yeah, okay, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
It certainly opens the game up, really encourages them to go through the middle. Sometimes it can be a frustrating one on windy days, but we won't have that issue today.
Hayley Breward gets the kick away, but Meander, the defence there is doing well so far. They've only really given up a shallow inside 50 to South.
Sophie Townsend with the intercept mark there, one of their vice-captains, NTFA rep, reads the footy really, really well.
Charlotte Howe, well, she was reefed off the footy illegally, said the umpire. So the skipper of the Suns, can they get inside 50? This ball's going to bounce, and another shallow inside 50. Now South with the pressure on them at half back. Little kick out of there to Viney. Now Viney's got to find someone up forward. No one can take clean possession of the ball. Child with the kick away. That was okay. Kia Rogers is coming back. The free kick is coming back.
To Giddens, under 20 NTFA rep, played some very good footy in their rep game as well, actually, so likes playing on this surface.
And she's had the hair done especially for the occasion with the red locks for...
Hard to miss.
Hard to miss. Oh, good tackle by Viney.
I don't think there's been a call here, has there?
Well...
I think it's actually playing on, but the girls haven't reacted.
Well, the girls thought it was a free kick, and they're umpiring their own game, the girls. It's not bad. There's a cruncher. And a free kick is coming here to Kia Rogers. High ball. Intercept mark. So South, so far, holding up okay. And so too the Suns. Kick to the wing. And a fingertip mark, almost taken by Hayley Bruard. Well, they do go in hard. That's a real head-high bump. And she's in a bit of trouble. She just gets her way to her feet. That's Emma Groves. She's...
one of their leaders, and you can see why, putting the body on the line for the team. Really being played between the arcs here at the moment. You feel like the first team that can really break that barrier and get it in deep forward 50 will look dangerous.
Haddard got it away to Clark. Now's a foot race on the outer side. Leading in the race was Grace Gillow. Oh, just tucked it beautifully. She was being hunted there. Little handball out of half back. Suns just need a little bit of good ball here. Just knocked off the kick there was Lanham. They just haven't, both teams haven't been able to settle and get their ball movement going just as yet. It's a bit of a scrappy affair. Charlotte Howe on the backside there trying to do something. Little handball comes out. Now nicely done to Bruard. And almost a mark there by Patterson. Just couldn't quite stick it. Away we go. Here. Nice deep entry. This is the deepest that South have been. Sophie Townsend's got some work to do. She's got a bit of time though. She's about to get mown down.
Well set up behind the footy there by South. You can see that they've got great representation here around the footy, so they'll drive it back in, you'd think.
They'd have a loose one there just for a second or two. Scrubby old handball. In goes Ella Creswell for Meander Valley Suns. Little squeezed out handball, a squeezed out kick. Might be an opportunity here for South. I think Grace Gillow was a little bit too quick to put it to hand. She could have got it to boot. They run in packs, don't they, the girls at the moment? There's plenty of space out there, but you wouldn't think so.
No, and it's been pretty constant here. We've only really had the 1 or 2 stops for a break here, so I reckon there's some girls starting to run out of petrol tickets here 6 minutes in. Biggest ground they'll
play on in their career, one would assume, unless you perhaps get to the G. That's a good tackle. I didn't hear the umpire blow the whistle. Gee, the girls are not playing to the whistle, and that's a free kick, and that is against Ruby Lanham. So the nice tackle coming in from Sophie Townsend. She started the game really, really well. As I said, a very experienced footballer. Played 100th, I believe, recently for Meander Valley, so showing her experience already. It's a big grunt in the back there. So the free kick will go to Sophie Jones. So Sophie Jones on the wing and the outer side. Nice bit of purchase with a kick. It's a good one. No mark by Townsend. Goes back again. Got the kick away. Just tracking it in front was Giddens. And she's all or nothing, Giddens. She throws herself in. That might be a free kick to South for not having possession of the footy. Here we go through Viney. Viney with a little handball over the top, just out in front of herself, but too far. The umpire's paid a free kick. Pushing the back, I believe he's called. Umpires really letting it go, which you kind of like to see on grand final day. There's a lot of talk about umpires, but you like just letting the game play, don't you? Yes, that's almost a mark. In they go. Tackling in the player, Meg Wilkinson, almost took the mark with the blonde locks there. So another ball up. This is a difficult game to umpire, the girls' game, because there isn't, at times, a lot of flow. Here's Viney.
been very prominent early, Viney.
Has been. Got it to Greaves. And another ball up. So, no score in the grand final. 8.5 gone. It'll kick off the ground. Suns have been doing all the defending so far. Another chance for Bruard. Got it long. This might be okay. Ball flicks over the back. Lisa Patterson. She'd go off the ground here, and it might just roll through. Lisa Patterson gets the first for South Launceston, and she had to go to a different sport to actually get it, but it's effective. So a goal to South Launceston through Patterson. They're 1 straight 6. Meander Valley Suns yet to score, but this was the key, the good long deep kick.
Yeah, they've been forced to defend for minutes on end here, Meander Valley, so you feel like there was one that was going to break through eventually. Lisa Patterson, leading goal kicker for the competition, so odds-on favourite to kick the first, and she's certainly done that.
So Lisa Patterson, the Patterson connection there, Rod's daughter.
Yep, spot on.
Fantastic. Great to see Rod Patterson out there today. So much that man has done for footy in the north, and also in the business world too, with his business interest. Pato, fantastic guy.
Just full of passion, Rod.
Yep. The South are on the board through Patterson, and Emma Addard, the pigtails, trying to track it through. Errant handball. Suns will push it forward. Now that might have been a free kick downfield, or is it coming back? No, it's downfield.
Downfield, so one-on-one deep inside 50 if they want to go quickly here, Meander. South have really set up well behind the footy, so you think they'd want to go in quick.
Eastley's a nice high ball in there. Could create a bit of chaos. So South are out of trouble here, and a good kick out into space. One for the runners. Who can get there?
Crooks running out of defence there. She did that fantastic for the NTFA rep side, was one of their better players during that rep series, and that's her one wood as one of their better players.
You need that run-off halfback. It doesn't matter if you're playing AFL football at the elite level, but the game's been built around that defensive mindset, hasn't it? And run-off halfback.
So here's our last touch rule coming in again. So the umpires have deemed that come off South last, so Meander Valley kick.
They just got it off a step. Little handball over the top. Addard floats a high one. No mark to Patterson, but she pounces again. It's the handball away. Christina Chiffo. They're just going to try and go off the ground here, the girls. Nicely done there by Giddens again, but kick is errant, and Viney has mopped that up. Viney for South. Deep inside 50. Little handball out there, nicely done by Townsend. Giddens just says, I'll offload it to you, Kia Rogers, and you can get it done. See some of those marks. Meander Valley are getting their hands to them. They can't hold on. Here's Viney again. Gets it out into space. Kate Greaves just waits for it to sit, has some assistance, got the handball and heard the call from Chelsea Ryan. Ryan's got to try and get through a brick wall, and she's unable to do that. The umpire's pinged her for not making sufficient effort. So Desiree Ostbury's got it for Meander Valley and uses the stand rule nicely to her effect. Viney, gee, she's had some touches, Viney.
Just wherever the footy goes, Viney is at the moment, it seems.
Yes.
First time we've seen play get stuck on that far side of the ground, which we're getting pretty late in the quarter here. Obviously, the interchange bench is on the other side of the ground, so you feel like that might have an impact late in quarters.
Well, the game's opened up just a little bit, but still getting a lot of congestion. There's the South bench, and a little bit further on, the Meander Suns. We call them the Meander Valley Suns. Hope we don't get into trouble for that.
I feel like South definitely want to get the game out into space. So as the girls have got tired, they've been able to get it out of stoppage and out into the open areas, and that's where they're starting to get a bit of ascendancy in general play here. So Meander really want to try and pinch one late here, I reckon.
Well, they'd love to get some deep inside 50 here. Eastley for the Suns. Good tackle on April Crooks. Here she goes again. At pace. Got the goal. That's a fine mark.
That's a great mark.
That is a great mark.
They do have numbers on through the middle here, Meander. 2-on-1.
Yep. Need a shepherd or two here. The other girl has to run with her. Ended up running past it there was Gemma Lawrence for Meander. And good decision by the umpire.
That's a great win by Angela Main to draw that 2-on-1 there in the middle of the ground.
Yep, they were away there if they could have got a good bounce. Viney, well, went to her straight away. Dakota DeHaan.
Slim tackle.
Would have been dealt with there. There's not much of her.
Centre of that ground could get quite firm as well, and I know there's big bash games on the horizon for this ground, so hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, well, that's a lovely mark. Just standing under it and getting the job done there was Monique Sawyer.
A fantastic kick as well, Brouard.
Yep, Brouard. Well, she spotted a teammate in space, but she couldn't quite handle it. Another opportunity here. Oh, she's bit of peripheral vision. Paige Crooks. And over the back, Meander. I've been pretty impressed with the way they've wholeheartedly defended in this first term. They just can't get the ball consistently past the centre of the ground.
Girls starting to showcase their improving foot skills too when they're able to get a bit of time and space. You see some targets there, but it's been such a high-pressure contested game that it just hasn't happened yet. Earning absolutely every possession here, the girls.
Ball up on the wing, on the grandstand side, the commentary box side. That's a free kick. Just tried to burst her way through there was Dakota DeHaan, and she was pinged. And, well, that ended up a good kick. I'm not sure it was supposed to go that way. Looked like a bit of a throw, but it's Chiffo, and that kick is mown down. So the game's starting to open up just a little bit.
Last 30 seconds of the quarter here. Meander really want to try and pinch one, so they're probably going to try and move the footy on here if they can.
They don't want to concede one.
Yeah, it's that risk reward, isn't it? But they've got the footy. Probably want to try and get it in there. It's a good kick.
Well, here's their biggest opportunity. Oh, it might just fall okay. Quick kick away. That was Gemma Lawrence. Went to the pocket. Now they're going to run out of time. Lawrence with a handball over the top. Didn't make it. Boy, they might have been about 30 seconds away from a score there. But it is quarter time in the girls, or the women's, we should say, grand final. South Launceston against Meander Suns. South Launceston 1 straight 6. Meander Valley Suns yet to score. And Matt Chatwin, your thoughts on that first term?
Very much a game being played between the arcs at the moment. As whenever that's gone inside 50 for either team, it felt like it's only ever gone inside shallow. The one time that South were able to get it out the back, Patterson obviously running on and a very clever soccer off the ground. Very physical, obviously. There's lots of tackle pressure. Viney's been prominent for South for mine. If you're voting on the medal, you'd be keeping a close eye on the way she started the game. Townsend and Giddens really holding up well down back, but very even contest here at the moment. A kick in at quarter time. What more could you want in a granny? Yeah,
look, I think the way they both attacked the footy in that first term was very good. South got the goal through Lisa Patterson, but they maintained that lead throughout the first quarter. So quarter time, South Launceston 1 straight 6. Meander Valley Suns yet to score. Quarter time in the women's grand final, Div 1. South Launceston undefeated in this season. Undefeated in that first term. 1 straight 6. Lisa Patterson got the goal. A little dinky little kick off the ground. Smart play by her. And as you heard Matthew Chatwin say, she's the leading goal kicker in the competition. And she's sitting on the, or standing on the bench to start off this second term. And I guess they've got to try and rotate the girls through and around in the comp.
Yeah, as we said, biggest ground that probably the girls have ever played on, so probably a lot more running than they're ever used to. So that might be where using your bench very smartly to keep the fresh legs is going to be very important. Someone like Aaron Viney, a very experienced bench coach down there.
Yeah, it's a good name in football. Here's Viney.
Here's his wife with the first centre clearance.
Sometimes they're on cue. Kate Child might have just dropped the footy there. They always paid the free kick for not being in possession. The kick out wide is really good, and that's been marked by Sophie Jones. So Sophie Jones, she wants to get on with it. Here she goes. She's got a chaos high ball. Up they fly. No one could even get a fingernail on it. This Meander Valley Suns defence has been under a lot of pressure. Townsend, she's just got to wait for it to sit. Oh, ducked around beautifully. Gee, that was terrific step work out to the wing. That's a free kick in the back every day. Jackie Harvey's going to get the free kick there.
They've stood up fantastically well, the Meander Valley defence, and given them a lot of rebound out of half-back.
A big opportunity there, but taken away by Attard, who's looks a really good mover, good player. Some of them develop a little bit later on. Here's your girl, April Crooks. She was very good in that first quarter with a run. Here's Viney, so no advantage. So free kick is going to April Crooks. Uses it nicely. A teammate, they're a little bit slippery. I just noticed the ball it's got a little bit of dew on it maybe.
Yeah, it's still quite early in the day here, so there's some of that dew might be about.
That's a nice bit of play by Ruby Lanham. She spun around and I think, well, oops, I better get rid of this. She did. That's out of play. It'll be a free kick to Meander. So the Suns looking into the sun. Kicks off the side of the boot. Running onto it was Eastley. Now Groves. South defence is looking good, but it might just open up here. Meg Wilkinson couldn't get through, the number 9 for Meander Valley Suns. Well, they could do with a goal, just to. They only trailed by a goal, but they'd love to level it up here, Matt, wouldn't they? Absolutely.
Obviously, South with the belief, but going through the season undefeated, you feel like their mental demons might start to kick in if they don't get a goal here soon.
Yeah, I think that it's for that reason alone. They need to know that they are still in tune with this game. Last touch rule coming in, so it's going to be taken by Sophie Townsend, or is it? No, the umpire, so I'm going to throw this one up. Might have been accidental.
Yeah, so if the umpires don't know, they'll call a ball up rather than a boundary throw in, but South have taken advantage of that.
That's fair enough.
That's a good one.
Gee, that is a nice step by Emma Groves. It's a free kick. So Hayley Bruard will get it for the Bulldogs.
Probably been a bit quiet by her standards early. She was awarded the Player of the Season in the Examiner NTFA competition.
Yeah. Here's a chance for a goal for South. But, well, is that last touch out of bounds? Oh, that's deep, but probably not.
So no last touch inside the 50s.
Yep.
The last touch only applies between the 50 arcs. So it will always be a boundary throw in unless it's a deliberate out of bounds.
It's all coming back to me, Matt. Up they go. This one might just trickle away too. And it has been taken to the line. Kate Child says, well, how about no disposal, as Caitlin McLaughlin took it to the line for Meander. Just a little knockout. Sharked here by Chelsea Ryan. Well, the Suns have got to try and run this out of half back. Ryan back again. Got the handball away. Nice kick away. And that one just rolls out of play. It'll be a ball up again. Matt, anything Meander have done to try and get some drive going? You've seen anything that Kate Boland's been able to put into place so they can get some run?
Early on, Giddens seemed to be really getting the footy out in space on that far side, but she seems to have been shut down by Sophie Jones here in this quarter, so trying to get her back into the game would be beneficial.
Yeah. Here's Ryan again. So it'd be handy if I could hear that whistle.
High contact, I believe, was the call.
Was it?
I'm not sure who's got it here, sorry, but it will lead to a shot on goal. It might be Chelsea Ryan.
Yep, I think you're right. Chelsea Ryan has got the free. And a bit innocuous. I don't know, maybe a slight little part of a shoulder hit ahead, but here's Chelsea Ryan for the Bulldogs' second goal. It's got some legs. Has it got enough? No, the Suns do well. Chance there for Sophie Jones. Here's Kate Child. Can't pick it up. Oh, that's dangerous stuff. Cleared by Charlotte Howe. Meg Wilkinson went back with the flight of the ball, which was very good. She's back on it again, Wilkinson. She can't get clean possession. Here's Viney. Got the kick away off the side of the boot. That's a high bouncing ball. Well, she tried to run through them and mow all the way down, but Viney had a measure. And Viney has got it. She's been prominent. She just lays this off, and a good mark has been taken. Wow, and Kate Greaves has got it. And distance might just get her. So if you're sitting at the front, she's decided to lay it off. High kick is just rolled out of play.
It was a very smart kick by Viney coming inside 50. Greaves was opposed to Sophie Townsend, who's been intercept marking at will all game, but decided to lower the eyes and spot up her opponent, and it was a great kick, but probably that bit further from goal, which made the distance an issue.
So this game being played exclusively in the forward half of the Bulldogs, but they haven't been able to put the score on the board. Here's Viney, just tracking the footy. Goes back again, gets tackled, releases somehow. Quick little kick out of there is productive. Jones, bounced. Giddens did nicely and clears the area. That's a terrific bit of play by Giddens. Wilkinson had to go. She might just kick it off the ground here. Just a little toe poke. She'll come back into play with a tackle. Kick away was by Attard. Now Wilkinson. Nice bit of a step. The kick might bounce okay. Free kick. And it's against, is it against the Suns? It's for the Suns. And it's going to Shannon Crawford.
Almost on cue, Giddens with the rebounding kick out of half back, and it's their best passage of play for the quarter. They'd like to own a bit of territory here and give their defenders a break.
So Crawford goes with the kick, almost the intercept mark. Nicely done, picked up by Emma Groves. Here's the chance for the Suns. They've got to back themselves here. Monique Sawyer came out. Quick little kick, I think by Groves again.
Foot race.
Hannah Viney, goodness me, she's covering some territory. They want to make sure they rotate her off the bench. She's going to run out of gas. Christina Chiffo was there. Now again Sawyer. Groves overran it, then waited as Hannah Mitchell-Grimer comes in. Sam Morrison there, the number 10 with the long sleeves. And illegal disposal. So the Suns are going to go deep inside 50, attacking 50. High kick, and Viney, who almost took the mark. Real chaos in the pocket there. No one can really get a release and a ball up.
This is the opportunity for the Suns, you feel. You really feel like they deserve a goal for the effort they've put in.
Yeah, you're not going to kick a goal when you're on your knees. And sliding in there was Jackie Harvey under a bit of pressure. Still inside that Suns forward 50. A little kick came in. Just slung off the kick there was Charlotte Howe. And was she tackled high?
Sling tackle, I believe, the umpire's
Sling
paid.
tackle.
So it is going to be a shot on goal, I think, here for Charlotte.
Well, I think we've said a few times, Matt, this is their best chance to get a goal. I think we've got this one right at the top of our list.
And you feel like this will do wonders for their belief as well, because they're right in the game. The scoreboard's just not reflecting it quite for the effort they've put in.
Charlotte Howe gets it done. And for all the attacking and all the possession and all the time inside forward 50 that the Bulldogs had, Meander have levelled it up at the 10-minute mark of the second term with a goal to Charlotte Howe.
Yeah, they've defended really, really well. You feel like South probably would be a bit disappointed to have owned so much territory for so long into this quarter and have nothing to show for the effort. And the Suns, through Giddens, managed to clear it really well and then owned the footy in their half for a couple of minutes there and have got reward for effort. And she's game on here now. Every time they've played this year, the two teams have got closer and closer. I know it was a big margin probably the first time they played and then got closer and closer. So you feel like the Suns are starting to believe now.
Nicely done by Howe to get the goal. And now you can just see that extra little bit of panic going on with South.
You don't hear it often, but you do hear stories of teams going through undefeated and then not being able to get the job on grand final day. So you feel like if the Suns can stay there, then thoughts might start to creep into the South heads.
Yep.
Equally so, they're just as confident, I feel.
Yeah, that little bit of extra zip in them after that goal, though, South, you feel. And the Suns, they'd be pleased. They'd be pleased that they've got on the board with a goal and they've levelled it up.
I like the move of Townsend into the ruck. She's been very, very good down back, but I like that they're getting her around the footy.
Wilkinson did nicely. That's a tackle on April Crooks for holding the ball. And the winner of this game gets promoted to Premier League. So they're the stakes today. An opportunity now for South to run it out of half back to Crooks. She's got some tricks, did it nicely. Now it comes back to Hayley Bruard, who, as Matt said, won the award this year for BNF, and it'll be thrown back in, balled up, whatever, or last touch. What's happening? I think the umpire wants it. No one wants to give it to the umpire, but that's a smart move by Kate Child. She's the coach. She said, I'll throw the ball back to you, Mr. Umpire.
Yeah, had the 1-2 in the Examiner Player of the Year competition, South, between Crooks and Bruard. And both have had impact on the game, but probably not at being at their usual level. So I imagine they'll continue to stamp their authority on this game as it goes on.
Yep.
We're starting to see Crooks get a bit of the footy off half-back and really look damaging when she runs with it. I think it's Bruard.
Volker was good in the ruck there. This ball's just going to creep over the back. Here's Jones running onto it. Couldn't quite keep her feet. And it will roll out of play. So in a blink of an eye, South get it inside their forward 50. This is where Meander's defence, you've got to give them a pat on the back. They have defended grandly.
Absolutely. And you think the goal that they did kick was a quick kick off the ground that could have gone anywhere, but it went straight through the big one. So they've done well to not give up an easy opportunity.
Yes, they've been able to get goal side and keep their South opponent from the footy in defence. And Giddens has been a big part of that with that red hair. How long it takes to get, how many dollars it takes to get that red stuff through your hair? I might try some of it, Matt. Mine's going a different colour, it's not red.
I don't know if it's to match the uniform or it's a fashion choice. I'm not one to give fashion advice.
Here's Viney. It's going to roll through. She got it on her left, and it did a bit of Nathan Lyon combined with Shane Warne and a Doosra, and it went through.
Been the prominent player for mine so far today, Viney. I know you were commenting before, she's winning the footy on the last line of defence when the team's under the pump, and now she's going forward, winning stoppages, and very crafty goal on a non-preferred foot. That's fantastic skill to get such a quick kick away and on target. Fantastic effort by her.
When you're having a good day, that's a goal.
Oh,
You're
sometimes
having a shocker?
Sometimes players just get in the sweet spot and everything you do turns to gold, and I feel like she's having one of those days at the moment, Hannah Viney.
One thing we can say, they're kicking straight, both teams. So back into the ruck, Sophie Townsend, as you said, Matt, doing a great job in the ruck for Meander. Gets a clearance. Crooks couldn't handle a mark. Gee, feel the Suns have got to respond here. Crooks again. She's racking up the possessions. Oh, that's I thought it looked like a head clash there for a second. But Viney, well, she won't backpedal.
Probably a good example of the way girls are picking up the game there. They both turn their body really, really well to protect the head, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, I mean, they're soaking it up. They are going to be such improvement in the next few years with all the girls. Let's hope they stick at it. In they go. And Megan Volker in the ruck. She's got a hand up. And she knocks it down just to an opponent. Here's Viney again. Bouncing old ball, but that's okay. Got about half a minute to go before half time. Onto the boot was Caitlin Lee for Meander Suns. Nicely done by Eastley. Eastley gets it out. Time ticking away. They've got 15 seconds to get a goal, but Crook says, we'll have none of that, thanks very much. I'm getting this thing out of there. And Jones overran it. Giddens just says, I'll give this some hang time and maybe it'll be half time. And there it is. The siren goes for half time in the women's grand final of 2022.
So a great first half of
South Launceston,
South Launceston, two straight 12.
Meander Suns, one goal 6. And the toss was won by the Suns, who decided to kick to right of screen at the start of the game. And goal kickers in this game so far, Hannah Viney and Lisa Patterson have singles for South Launceston, and Charlotte Howe has a single for Meander Valley Women. And Matthew Chatwin's been watching that first half with interest. And Matthew, South look like they're the side that's getting the most possession. They're inside 50. They're doing it not with ease, but they seem to have the ascendancy. But the Suns are a kick away.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel like South would be feeling like they're moving the ball nicely. You see Crooks running, carrying the footy. It seems to zip from end to end. I think you made the comment, Michael, that they're getting it in there so easily. They're just not getting value for their entries at the moment, whereas you feel like Meander, every kick they're earning at the moment, trying to work it through the centre of the ground. South seem to be very well set up defensively and owning territory. But at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is the scoreboard. And as you say, there's a kick in it, so game on.
It is game on, and it's good to see in a grand final the girls taking in the liquids that they need to do. But it is half time at UTAS Stadium. Brought to you by Duff TV, the NTFA Division 1 Women's Grand Final. South Launceston undefeated in this season. They lead 2 goals straight 12 to the Meander Valley Suns, 1 straight 6. Back with the second half soon. Ready to go in the second half of the Women's Grand Final in Division 1, South Launceston. The undefeated Bulldogs up against the Meander Valley Suns. Goal kickers in that first half, Hannah Viney and Lisa Patterson got singles for South, and Charlotte Howe got the single goal for the Suns. So into the ruck, the nice little double fister by Volker. Wilkinson was there. Suns would love a goal just to square it up early, because you don't want to have to come from behind Matthew Chatwin with a blithering run, or a withering run, I should say.
Don't want to deal in cliches, but it feels very much like a premiership winning quarter, this one.
Well, Kate Child, the coach, she's inserted herself into the game. She's got a kick over the top here. Here's Patterson. She may be an exclusive Invermay end goal kicker, because she's inside 50. Here's Child, just knocked off the kick, Ryan, and that ball's just locked in, going nowhere.
Seem to have loaded up forward here, South. They've got Child playing coach. They've got Patterson leading goal kicker, starting out of the goal square.
Here's Ryan again, and almost the mark. It's close to the line. It might be the first blemish of the day, and a rush behind. So South Launceston 2-1-13. The Suns 1 straight 6. A rush behind.
I feel like the first goal is going to be crucial in this quarter. You worry if South kick it that Meander might start to feel a few doubts in the mind, whereas if they kick that first one, then they'll be right into it.
There are no doubts at the moment. Hayley Bruard. Townsend. Oh, might have copped one high there on the way through from Jones. Advantage paid? No.
And 50.
And a 50. Well, not really quite sure how that works. So, yeah, couldn't really see anything, Matt, why the 50 was given. Might have been a little bit of work by vocal cords, perhaps.
Who knows? It does help Meander, though, because they have been trapped in their defence a lot, so they'd be happy to get the ball up the ground with a bit of ease.
Well, it's an extra play for them. Here's Crooks. Clean pair of heels. Nice little banana bit of action there. Townsend couldn't take it. And then that's a nice little dive there. Did throw herself forward.
Made sure the umpire's seen it, that's for certain.
There was no way anyone at this ground wasn't going to see that.
She's probably been their best for mine so far, Townsend, so...
Yeah, she has. It's a nice mark. Taken by Creswell, I think it was. And then she's been dusted off behind play. In fact, it was Charlotte Howe was the one with the mark. So, here we go. Shannon Crawford gets it deep inside 50. Crooks so clean with the pickup, and pacey. Then the kick mown down. Got a bit too close to her opponent there. That ball just won't go out of play. Giddens did nicely, and there's another little throw forward. Well, if you can do it, I can do it, said Hayley Bruard. Now the kick to the wing. Townsend, she's back in on it again. Yeah, she's really playing a game here, Townsend, to try and keep her side in this contest.
Starting to see the impact of Crooks again. Not only getting that first possession, but following up as well.
Georgia Brain for South. Out it comes now. So the Suns need a lucky bounce. They need something, but they've got to get past this girl in Crooks, who loves kicking the old banana. Wilkinson overran it. And that's a stalemate. 2-1-13, 1 straight 6. UTAS Stadium, Duff TV bringing you all the pictures, and what brilliant pictures they are too. Here's Brain. Got a nice little hook on it. That might work for them. Handball coming out. Nicely done there by Emma Groves. So here's the go. They just need to get this on. It's going to flick out the back. Montana Reesley, she was ditched, as they say, and the umpire said it was held in. They give it everything, these girls. I can tell you Charlotte Howe is in a little bit of trouble on her knees there. just getting up now. She's hobbling. I think she's hurt an ankle or a knee.
That'll be a blow because she started this quarter really well, Charlotte Howe, and obviously their goal kicker. So you hope that there's a bit of magic spray or something down there because they want her back out.
Let's have a look. Oh, I think she's just rolled that ankle, I'd say. So back to live action. There's a push in the back. That's pretty straightforward stuff for an umpire. Emma Groves, the recipient, and she doesn't want to put any weight on that, does she? On that ankle.
Yeah, that's a blow.
Here's Wilkinson. Eastley. Maybe a free kick going to Crawshaw here. So, who can take a mark? Can the Suns do something here? Groves is defending grandly. And the umpire's paid a free kick. It's going to South. Bench like it.
Bit of a sling tackle off the ball, I think that
Was
one
it?
was, but it's Crooks again. She's just knocking up possessions at will here at the moment.
She is. Wilkinson can't take the mark, but she recovers well. Handball's a little bit too fierce for Groves. Well, that's holding the ball. Umpire was blindsided by that, you could see. We could see it, but the umpire couldn't see it, a ball up.
I've almost flipped the script here, Meander on South. They're owning the footy in their forward half repeat entries, so hopefully they get some reward for effort here soon for their sake.
Jackie Hodgkinson in the ruck for Meander Valley Suns. That might be in the back. Umpire said play on. A bit of both. Viney, who's drifted out of the game a little bit. Here's Giddens. Got a half-distance kick. And maybe a free kick for holding. It's just going here to Hannah Mitchell-Grimer. So Mitchell-Grimer. A call from Groves. Why wouldn't you give it to her? Scratchy looking kick. Almost the mark. Quick kick out of there. Wilkinson. Just got it off the top part of the thigh, I think. Groves.
Putting on nicely though, so they continue to win these contests, Meander. Every time South go forward, it's coming back just as quickly. They just can't get that deep inside 50 entry and really challenge the goal face at the moment.
It's amazing how the girls pick up on things. I think one player throws themselves forward and gets a free kick, and then everyone gets in on the act. Sometimes they're paid, sometimes they're not. And what's the old problem? Staging, as they say. We surely couldn't be that cruel on the girls at the start of their careers.
It's been hard to win an easy possession, so I suppose it might be the only way to get one.
Well, you've got to try everything in a grand final, don't you? Here's Viney, whose up and under kick was missed by Main. And the umpire's blown the whistle and a free kick. And that's it's going to Main. So almost a standing start from Main. She kicks it out wide. Bruard. Kick chopped off. Intercept. Nicely done. Morrison. Morrison's kick inside 50. Ryan. High ball. Jones. Just manoeuvred a body beautifully to get into that contest. Little handball's got to come out here. Umpire said that's okay. And now the umpires changed their mind, have they? No, free kick coming to the Suns. Gee, Matt, if you're going to predict a winner from here, you'd probably say South Launceston, but...
So I'm just trying to fit. It definitely is a Meander free kick, is it? Or yes.
Well, I thought it was, and then the umpire was walking that way. I'm with you, Matt. I thought it looked like they were going to pay it to South.
Oh, sorry, I had to figure that one out.
Optical illusion.
Yeah.
Bruard. Little toe poke. Ball's not coming out of there in a hurry.
Situation like this, I don't think you can underestimate experience either. There's 10 South girls, I believe, that played in their 2019 success, so you wonder if one of those experienced premiership players might grab the game by the bull of the horns here in a moment.
Well, a spot in the Premier League is at stake here, and I guess you can attract extra players if you get up to that higher level. Some of the players may want to go and play with your club.
Absolutely. In the first year of the 2 divisions, so history will always remember the first Div 1 Premier, so it's a nice little tag to have on your club.
Yeah, that is for sure. Must be first at it. That's a free kick to the Suns for holding. So, speaking of holding, they're holding up okay, but they're going to get a 50 here.
That one might be of the verbal variety based on the reaction of the umpire.
Yes. Yes, that might have been against Ruby Lanham there. So those two go on with proceedings after the kick. Here's Brouard, got the handball away. Groves, inside 50. Here's a chance for the Suns. It might just have to be off the ground by Crawford. Held over the footy, tried to get it to Wilkinson. Now Wilkinson's got to do something here. She comes in with a tackle, and both her and Naomi Baird go to ground.
Just didn't want to sit for the Meander Valley girl trying to run on that footy. Just needed one good bounce.
Greaves knocks it down. Nicely taken away there by Nicola Clark. Just going to come back in. Nice high ball in there by Tiffany Whitney. Oh, that's almost throwing the footy. Viney sorts them out. Little kick of substance. Well done again. To hold it up there was Whitney. And a ball up. Time ticking away in the third term. 3.5 minutes to go. Or 4.5 minutes to go. They're not jumping too high, the girls. I think a few of them might have spent a few petrol tickets. Brouard. Nice little handball. Comes there from Caitlin McLaughlin. Nicely done with a good run from Monique Sawyer. Got the kick away for South. Wilkinson. She gets around. Another handball. So they go inside 50, but guess who? She had a little quiet spot for 5 or 10. She might have even a bit of a rest on the bench for a while because she's done some running. There's Hannah Viney. Desperation to keep that ball in. And she's frustrated with herself, Paige Crooks. A couple of crooks out there. Not necessarily thieves or anything like that, but
that's what I like about that rule. It really encourages the players to keep the ball in play and stuff like that, keep the game flowing.
She's got close to the mark here, but it's okay.
It's a great mark.
It's a good mark taken by Jackie Harvey, I think that is. So she kicks a shallow inside 50. A lot of hands up. No one can take it. Well done by Whitney. She's had a couple of important touches. Whitney. Sawyer. And she's held her ground. And a ball up. 13 gone. Third term. South by 7. The Suns inside 50 can't penetrate. South have got numbers back, and Viney keeps on going with a little toe poke, and that's a kicking in danger, and that free kick will go to Dakota DeHaan. So South have got back, so it's a 2-on-1 if she kicks to a couple of contests here. Suns need to read this off the play. Oh, the handball was a little bit sketchy. Quick little kick, almost a goal, taken by Volker. Gee, that was almost for the Suns. They've had a quarter of almosts. Here's DeHaan again. Just tracking the footy. Great tackle, mow down. Umpire with a beautiful curtsy there. Says that is a free.
They feel like they've got all the momentum here, Meander Valley, so...
Only problem is they're running out of time. They've got a minute to go, roughly, in this term.
We've got no
or 2 minutes.
No one in the goal square here, and she looks too far out to score, so that's why she's had to chip short.
Kick out of defence, just gets over the back, gets into the centre. Important ball to be won by the Suns. That was tremendous play there by Brianna Bowen. But now South on the rebound. Might just do well to Main. Main's kick was to a contest, but it's okay. In goes Child, the captain coach, or the coach of the team. Quick little kick here. Might work okay for DeHaan. She's just buffeted out of the way. that wouldn't be hard because she's not much of her. And a free kick might be going to Brouard here. It is. So Brouard right in the centre of UTAS Stadium with about a minute and a bit to go. I'm getting my 15s and 16s mixed up, but the mark has now been taken by Lisa Patterson, who kicked the first goal of the game. Patterson off a step, not a best. Suns defence, that's a free kick for in the back every day of the week, Ella Creswell. Well, Matt, doesn't look like the Suns are going to hit the scoreboard here, and they've kicked that ball out of bounds on the full. They've got a big last quarter coming up, haven't they?
You wonder if there's a couple of changes they might think about as coaches over the break and stuff like that. Some of their defenders have been fantastic all day. Maybe some of those might have to get up around the footy or go forward or something like that. There's obviously no tomorrow, so you might as well try a move like that if you want to. Inside
50s. Meander Valley 7-5 in this quarter, but haven't been able to get the score on the board. About 10 seconds to go. And that might just see us out, I think, by the time the umpire settles and gets this up in the air. There it is, three-quarter time at UTAS Stadium in the women's grand final in the NTFA. South Launceston 2-1-13. Meander Valley Suns 1 straight 6 goals for South Launceston. Hannah Viney and Lisa Patterson are the goal scorers. And for Meander Valley, Charlotte Howe got that in the second term. So a scoreless term for Meander Valley Suns. And, well, South Launceston, Matt Chatwin, it looks like it's going to be a South Launceston win, but if Meander Valley can get a little roll on, they could snatch this away. Undefeated in this season, South Launceston, but you just think it's still 50-50.
Yeah, very much so. You feel like Meander Valley are creating the opportunities. They're just not finishing the job. They got a couple in the goal line there that was intercepted by Volker on the last line of defence. They had that shot, or a couple of set shots that were just outside of range. There is a bit of breeze, it feels, going to the left of screen. So you hope that gives them an advantage to perhaps kick one from a bit further out or something like that. But it does feel like it could go either way at this moment, but South definitely have the advantage with that 7-point lead in a low-scoring affair.
Low scoring it is, but entertaining it also is. South Launceston 2-1-13. Meander Valley Suns 1 straight 6 back with a vital last quarter very soon. The last quarter of football for both teams. One team will carry off the premiership and move into Premier League for next year. Will that be South Launceston or Meander Valley Suns? Michael Maney and Matthew Chatwin with you for the final quarter of the Women's Grand Final. South Launceston and Meander Suns. Umpire has ball aloft. 16 minutes of footy to go. Volker. Viney overran it. And Matt, what do Meander Valley Suns have to do in this last quarter to get a victory?
Probably the first goal, as obvious as that might seem. You feel like if South kick one more, it might be a too far gone for them. So they really need to find a way to create that first goal. They've started pretty much as they've started all day. I'm looking at people like Giddens or Townsend that are still starting deep in defence. That might be a move that they might think about, getting them around the footy if they really want to try something. But they've backed in the tried and true at the moment. Here is Giddens.
The high tackle, I think, on Jones. So Jones has got it outside forward 50. A goal would be a dagger in the heart of the Suns. That's a good kick by Jones. And the mark has been taken by Ruby Lanham. She goes in short. Jones, who gave it to her, just put the head down, lost control of the footy. And the umpire will call for a ball up. Well, South just have to keep pushing forward. That's been successful, hasn't it, so far?
Time is their friend for South as well. 16-minute quarters, it goes very, very quickly. So if they can knock 2, 3, 4 minutes off the clock here with some forward 50 possession, then that'll be halfway there.
Dehaan just ran over the footy. Here's Ryan. Now gets the handball away. Wasn't to a teammate, though. Viney is hovering. It might have been a throw. Ryan again. Loves the contest as Ryan. She gets in low and hard. And another ball up. Tense on the bench for the Bulldogs. Nice knock forward by Lanham. Here's Jones. Oh, just shrugged the tackle and got the kick away, but a little frustrated as it goes out of bounds on the full. Good contingent of Suns supporters here today.
Yeah, fantastic to see, isn't it? The culture that they've created was very highly talked about in the paper this week, and it looks like the whole club's here, which is fantastic to see.
Nicely done as Ruby Lanham has had a couple of important touches in this last term, Lanham. And she's kicked from about 49, 48. Got a bit of wobble on that. But, the mark has been taken inside the line, and that's Kia Rogers. So Rogers wants a little bit of extra ground. The umpire's going to give her that. She needs to go back a bit. Now she's called the play on, and they're gone for a bit of switch action on the outer side with the Caitlin Lee leading in the race for the footy.
I actually really like that kick, Michael. It's got to take the game on, got to take a risk here to try and kick 2 in the last.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Handball away from Adard. Another little handball. This is a half-distance one. Adard, who got it from Giffo. And a free kick. It's coming back to the Suns. And it's going to go to Caitlin Lee. Well, they don't want to waste time, the Suns. But by attacking, they risk being scored against on the rebound. But that's where the game sits right now. They've got to do something. Lanham on hands and knees, and she just said, well, I didn't appreciate that. She knocked her opponent out of the way, Jackie Hodgkinson. Might be a free kick here to Townsend, held without the footy. Got to get back on the mark really quickly in these circumstances. Over the back to Mitchell Grimer. Might be a free kick. Creswell gets the kick away. Nicely done by Chiffo. Kick off the ground by Lee. It just opens it up for a couple. Here's Giddens. Shrugs the tackle. just sticking the tackle was Jones. Just got a nice piece of the jumper there. That can be really important in big games.
She's had a couple of really crucial moments, Sophie Jones, in this quarter, really standing up when the pressure's at its hottest.
Ball's in dispute. High ball up. Lee gets a Shepherd on hands and knees. It was Emma Groves. Well, South will just like the congestion, won't they? Little quick kick out of there was nicely done by Main. Here's a chance for South. Child went without it. And a ball up. So South have got it right where they want it. 5 minutes gone in the final quarter of the grand final.
It's an easy game for South. If they don't score, they win. So every second they kill off the clock where they don't have to worry about defending, keeping it in their half is a win for them.
Suns have got to be the ones to take all the risks.
That's it, and that's what you feel like Scott Bollinger, their coach, would have said at three-quarter time. We'd rather concede a couple of goals, taking the game on, than try and win it, than trying to play it safe. So
Townsend taking the ground, or that Groves it was.
In the blink of an eye, that's already 6 minutes knocked off the clock here by South, and their defenders haven't been under too much stress, so that'd be a win for them.
Here's Ryan, shaped up the goals and misses big time. Duff TV bringing you all the action of NTFA finals, grand finals day. Old Scotch and St Pat's coming up.
I think it's going to be a ball in. That one must have just bounced before the line.
Might have done. Here's a chance, and I think Patterson thought that she was in the goal square there. She's kicked a very, very fierce-looking point, hasn't she?
I don't mind the strategic point strategy either. Maybe that's her thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, well, better to score than not. She certainly did that. Another ball up.
Very hard to go end-to-end from a kick out, even for at the top level in the AFL. I feel like it's a very rare thing to happen. So for the girls on a big ground, you do feel like that point gives them an opportunity to set up defensively.
I don't know what that was. The umpire's thrown off like a mouth guard, was it?
Dropped whistle, I think it might have been.
Whistle, was it? I thought, surely it's not a mobile phone. Anything is possible. Little handball comes out. Oh, the Suns have got an opportunity here. Can they do something?
All their forwards have been dragged up the ground defending so hard, so they really need to find a way to get ahead of the footy here to give themselves an attacking option.
Groves got it to Creswell. That's an awkward bounce. Viney. Knocked up getting the football today, Viney. No mark. Jackie Hodgkinson. Now Viney again. Breaks clear. It's a kick forward. This Meander Valley Suns defence, I've been wrapped with that. Rogers, they just haven't given up the ghost.
No, they've done a fantastic job. Their defenders at times have been under the pump all game, won some crucial one-on-one, so they've definitely given their best call for themselves today.
Suns have got to kick 2 goals, and they've only been able to kick 1 so far in the game. Child. There's... Hello. She's going the wrong way. She doesn't quite know where she is there, Jackie Harvey. He thinks, am I kicking to the right of screen or left? The umpire says, I pretty much know where you should be, so get back there.
Might be trying to sneak a little 50 or something to break the game open. We might call it tactical.
Yes, that's a nice bit of purchase on that. It's gone about 50 metres. Good kick by Harvey, which makes them dangerous again.
Behind the footy here, though, South have 3 defenders to only 1 forward ahead of the footy, so that's where Meander Valley might have to try and get some forwards to stay at home to give them a scoring option, because they've got to find a way to kick a couple of goals here. So it's great that they're winning the footy around the contest, but they need the forwards to kick the goals.
Bit of kick chasing 2, I guess. Just desperate to get into the game, get into the grand final and do something for their team.
Absolutely. Season on the line, history on the line. You want to have an impact, but you've still got to do your role.
Mitchell Grimer couldn't release the footy, so a ball up. Greaves puts it down. With a big over-the-top kick, Paige Crooks. And time ticking away, almost to the 10-minute mark. They need 2 goals in just over 6 minutes. Do Meander Valley, 3 inside 50s to zip to South in this term. Whitney was there, tries to get involved in this play, and a child gets there. Well, they're undefeated all year, and sometimes you can come unglued in grand finals.
You feel like some of their premiership experience is starting to show through. Viney was there in 2019, Child, Patterson, these people that have been there before are starting to show that experience.
Wilkinson should have gone with a kick instead of a handball. That might look like a throw out there. Just couldn't quite get the fist on it, Montana Eastley.
And you look at towards Meander's goal there in that situation, April Cook standing in the goal square on her own, basically playing a goalkeeper role, and she's had such a great impact all day intercepting the footy, so she's set up really nicely for a South perspective.
So in the blink of an eye, South get it to the wing. Just held without the footy there was Hannah Mitchell-Grimer. She'll win a free kick.
5 minutes to go here, premiership on the line. Meander really need to find a way. It's going to be hard from here, but they need to find a way to kick one in the next minute or two to give themselves a sniff. That's
a terrific mark. Been taken by Caitlin McLaughlin. Or is it? It was number 38 in Nakia Rogers. But the kick was intercepted and now it's been taken by Greaves. So, as I said, time ticking away. No mark. Here's Ryan. They've got all the answers. Jones had no answer to the bounce of the football. Oh, that looked like a throw. Patterson was onto it. So too Child got the handball away. That may be a free kick there to Angela Main. But nothing doing. Up it goes. 12 minutes gone. Sun's trying to repel. And mark taken by Whitney. Out wide, Greaves. In fact, that's Crooks. Got it away to Baird. The mark taken, and Whitney didn't like the treatment that her friend and colleague was dished out, but the umpire's just going to throw it up. There we go. Greaves tries to reach over the top. Whitney was there again, and a real splatter tackle there, and it's going to go to April Crooks. So Crooks, the number 35, it's had a good game.
Yeah, she probably hasn't been as prominent in this quarter, but that's because she's been setting herself up nicely behind the footy and giving themselves that defensive coverage. Almost sacrificing a game for the team's benefit, which is a credit to her.
Whitney just went back and gave her a tap on the arm and said, oh, everything's order's been restored. That was a nice touch. Greaves takes it on the chest. 13.5 almost gone. Greaves goes with a good kick. And finds a teammate in the outer side there, Ruby Lanham. So Lanham's going to kick from 45. Just ducking in there. And trying to get to the front of the pack is Paige Crooks. So Lanham, it'll take a best ball burster here. Kicks it to near the square. A little toe poke off the ground there by Dakota DeHaan. Here's a long kick. It might just bounce through for a behind. Couldn't see who that was who got boot the ball there.
It was Sophie Jones with the flying shot.
Sophie Jones, was it?
They just needed, everything needs to be perfect here for Meander Valley. They just need to make it up on the fly and just go. They need to go coast to coast somehow. It's a great kick.
Well, just flicks over the back. Nice little kick forward. Here's an opportunity. Might just have to go off the ground again here. Inadvertently did. Another one off the ground, perhaps coming. Nicely done by Sawyer, who's been very good down back for them. The umpire's going to pay no free kick, but a ball up. Just over a minute to go. You would think that South Launceston have got this in the bag. Play going nowhere. Viney shuffled the handball out. Couldn't find a teammate. The Sun supporters think maybe time has run out for their girls.
No time on, so the clock keeps running after a goal as well, which will make it very, very difficult for them as well.
No free kick as Montana Eastley went through. 30 seconds to go in the grand final. South Launceston undefeated in season 2022. They're going to take the flag and get to the Premier League. Wilkinson can't get through. Gee, a lot of players around this. Sawyer, disposed of. Another quick kick out of there. Probably didn't go 15. Maybe the mark has been taken by Sam Morrison. So Morrison might hold on to the footy as the siren goes. Let's wait. There you go. South Launceston are premiers in the Division 1 Women's in the NTFA. They've gone through the season undefeated. Coach Kate Child has taken them to a premiership victory, and they win this game 2-3-15 to the Meander Valley Suns, who fought valiantly, won straight 6. Goal scorers for South, Hannah Viney and Lisa Patterson. And for the Suns, Charlotte Howe got a single. But Matt Chatwin, it was a solid win to South Launceston. But I tell you what, the Meander Valley Suns weren't disgraced in this game.
Oh, absolutely not. I think the Meander Valley girls would be very proud of their efforts. Obviously disappointed not to get the job done on the day, but I don't think there's any doubt that South Launceston have been the team to beat all year. Top of the ladder, undefeated all season, and we'll head up to the Premier Division next year and certainly be in amongst the mix amongst those teams in that Premier Division competition. So, but I feel like Meander would be very happy, as I said, for their first representative of any male or female on a grand final day. So first time in club history they've had a side in the grand final, and they'll learn from that and they'll come back obviously in the Div 1 competition next year. And based on the way they've gone about it today, you think they'd be the team to beat coming into next year.
Nice little moment there with Charlotte Howe, who hurt a leg in that third quarter, I think it was, or maybe early in that last. And yeah, she's on crutches out there now, so
that was a big blow for him too. Meander, she was their goal kicker and was having a real impact on the game.
Yes, no doubt. And there's Patterson, Lisa Patterson, who got the score rolling in the first term off the ground. They're pretty proud of themselves, and so they should be, because gee, sometimes you get to a grand final, you haven't lost a game, and you think the doubts could creep in.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a theory that sometimes it's better to lose one rather than roll in a grand final undefeated. So not a theory I protest to, but I can understand the reasoning behind it. But they had a lot of good players on the day as well, South. I know Viney, we spoke about, having a lot of the footy. Crooks having a lot of impact, a lot of run off half back. I felt like Chelsea Ryan was really creative in amongst the forward 50 there, a lot of forward 50 pressure. And they probably dominated in the ruck all day as well between Volker and Lanham. Really got them first hit outs and a lot of ascendancy, which allowed them to own territory, which I felt like was probably crucial in the end result.
You saw that goal from Lisa Patterson, and this is the goal from the skipper, Charlotte Howe. And, well, take a snapshot of this, because that's the only time they found the big opening this afternoon. They were pleased with that, but they couldn't replicate it on any occasion during the grand final. One straight 6 to 2-3-15.
I reckon when Coach Scotty Bollinger from Meander sits down with his girls after the game and whatnot, he'll be very proud of his leaders. Groves and Townsend as vice-captains were probably two of their better players for Meander Valley. I thought Townsend was probably their best across half-back, intercept marking, using the footy really well. Groves did a lot of work in and amongst the contest, and as I said, Charlotte Howe was their goal kicker and really prominent down forward, so that's what you want from your leaders on grand final day.
Let's head to the presentations with Rick Fontaine.
Very shortly.
Fontane's got us in a moment. He's just shuffling the
Thanks very
papers
much,
down there.
everyone.
Now,
We're
here
going to
he
start
goes.
the presentations now. So if we could have the South Launceston players please make their way over to the dais. And firstly, a big thank you to our umpires. Can we please give our umpires a round of applause, and we'll invite a representative to come forward and collect the medals on behalf of our umpires. So the umpires will all get a medallion to be collected and they'll be handed out. So thanks very much to our officials. Well done today and congratulations on getting the grand final. Before we announce the best on ground for today's grand final, I think we should give a round of applause to the Meander Valley Suns. They've had a fantastic season. And should be congratulated. I might invite the coach, Scott Bellinger, maybe just to come forward and say a few words.
To South, benchmark of the competition all year. We've worked really hard to try and get on your tail. We've worked really hard to try and catch up to you. We fell a bit short today. The ball didn't bounce our way. Congratulations, you deserve the win. To my girls, football's played with an oval ball, and today it didn't bounce our way. We kept our heads up. We fought as hard as what we possibly could. To all of our supporters, we've got the best supporters out there. Get around them, hey? To our president, to our supporters, to our committee, our club, our culture's brilliant, and we'll be back next year, no doubt about it.
Congratulations. Thanks, Scott. Well done to you and well done to Meander Valley on a great season. Going to invite our patron, Sarah Courtney, who's going to present the medal for the player judge best on ground today. And the winner from South Launceston is Hannah Viney. Well done, Hannah. Congratulations. All right, time now to hand out some premiership medallions and also some caps. I want to acknowledge Cleanaway. They've come on board this year as the very first sponsor of the women's competition, and they put in a lot of money, all cash, to sponsor it and support the women's football. So a huge thank you. Can we please show that for Cleanaway? So I'll invite you to come forward as I call your name and come and get your premiership medallion. Firstly, number 1, we'll get her up again, Hannah Viney. Very good entrance, well done. Number 3, Vice Captain, Emma Addard. Number 4, Chelsea Ryan. Number 5, Christina Giffo. Number 8, Hannah Mitchell-Grimer. Number 9, Holly Butler. Next up, number 10, Sam Morrison. Number 11, Kate Greaves. Number 12, Naomi Baird. Number 13, Sophie Jones. Number 14, Grace Gillow. Number 16, Angela Main. Number 18, Lisa Patterson. Number 21, Paige Crooks. Number 25 and a premiership winning coach, Kate Child. Number 26, Georgia Brain. Number 29, Ruby Lanham. Number 32, Nicola Clark. Next up, number 35, April Crooks. Number 36, Monique Sawyer. And finally, number 17, and the captain, Hayley Breward. All right, couple of more presentations to make. Next up is the presentation of the Premiership flag, and with President Wayne Mitchell away, we'll invite Lisa Patterson, the Vice President, to come forward and collect the Premiership flag for the South Launceston Football Club. And just before we present the Premiership Cup, we might invite the South Launceston coach, Kate Child, to come forward and say a few words.
First of all, Meander, thank you very much for the last few hit-outs with us and hitting us hard again today. You guys have improved since we played you way back, whatever round it was. So thank you very much, Scott. Thank you to the NTFA for putting on this season, all the work they've done today and throughout the year. My first big thank you is to Aaron Viney. He's been an awesome mentor for me this year, picking up the slack when I've been away, and couldn't ask for a better bloke and a better person leading this side with us, so thank you very much. Thank you to my family, all our supporters that come along today, the South Lonnie Footy Club, the board, all our beautiful players that have just done an awesome job this year. And the last thank you is to my partner Shannon for being home and looking after my little baby Jimmy that was only born this year. So she's the one that's made it all happen for me this year. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Kate. Congratulations to you and your team. All right, I'm very pleased to invite as well. We've got legends for all the teams today. They've got a club legend that are bringing the Premiership Cup out, and then of course the winning team to be presented as well. So it's a pleasure to welcome a former coach and club president, also life member and current patron of the club and a big supporter of women's football, Rod Patterson, to come forward with the Premiership Cup. And if I can invite Hayley Breward, the captain, to come forward. And to hold up the Premiership trophy to our Division 1 Women's Premiers, South Launceston.
Defending so far with a chance for Breward. Got it long. This might be okay. Ball flicks over the back. Lisa Patterson, she'd go off the ground here and it might just roll through. Lisa Patterson gets the first for South Launceston, and she had to go to a different sport to actually get it, but it's effective. So I think we've got this one right at the top of our list.
And you feel like this will do wonders for their belief as well, because they're right in the game. The scoreboard's just not reflecting it quite for the effort they've put in.
Charlotte Howe gets it done. And for all the attacking and all the possession and all the time inside forward 50 that the Bulldogs had, that red stuff through your hair. I might try some of it, Matt. Mine's going a different colour. It was not red.
I don't know if it's to match the uniform or it's a fashion choice. I'm not one to give fashion advice.
Here's Viney. It's going to roll through. She got it on her left, and it did a bit of Nathan Lyon combined with Shane Warne and a Doosra to the Premier League. Wilkinson can't get through. Gee, a lot of players around this. Sawyer, disposed of. Another quick kick out of there. Probably didn't go 15. Maybe the mark has been taken by Sam Morrison. So Morrison might hold on to the footy as the siren goes. Let's wait. There you go. South Launceston are premiers in the Division 1 Women's in the NTFA. They've gone through the season undefeated. Coach Kate Child has taken them to a premiership victory, and they win this game 2-3-15 to the Meander Valley Suns, who fought valiantly, one straight 6. Goal scorers for South, Hannah Viney and Lisa Patterson, and for the Suns, Charlotte Howe got a single, but Matt Chatwin, it was